Welcome back. We are going to look at our new evaluation online portal. Frontline has purchased Teachscape, and so we will be using mylearningplan.com as the place where you will house all of your forms and documentation for your evaluations and your SLOs this year. So we just want to go over a few tools of this new platform because it looks a little different than Teachscape. So we want everyone to be comfortable with it moving forward. We're going to highlight just a few things in this first video of what is made up of this landing page. So this landing page has scheduled components, action required, in progress, and completed. As you see here, nothing is scheduled for the components. Nothing's been scheduled for observations or due dates for those. Action required, if you go down, you can find the different areas. So if we go down here, we can find South Dakota pre-observation form, teacher formal observation process. So this is what you would need to fill out prior to your formal observation, just like last year, but it's more of a list form, so you have to go down and find what you want. After you've completed that and you've submitted it, it will move into the in progress area until the administrator has checked off on it, and then it will move into the completed area. Again, this is one view of how you can view your different components for Frontline. There is another area called My Evaluations, and it's right on the left-hand side, right under My Info. If you go to My Evaluations, this area is going to have evaluations and artifacts. Personally, this is probably the area that I like the most and makes the most sense for me because everything is then broken down a little easier to view. So I find my teacher formal observation process, I click on the little plus sign, and here drops down everything that falls within inside that category. Here's the form over here on the right-hand side. We'll get into the forms in a little bit, but this is how you would then get into that form and start to fill it out. You would fill that out and submit it. Again, this is an easier view to view it than the first one. But if you want to get back to the first view, all you have to do is hit Learning Plan up here, hit the purple tab, and it will take you back to the main landing page right here. So if you ever get lost inside the website, just go back up here to My Learning Plan, click Learning Plan, purple tab over here, and it will always bring you back to here, and then you can go from there. But again, if you're looking for that other view, it's under My Info, My Evaluations. Then click Evaluation, and here's all the different components for this year. It's time to dig into what makes up a form, or what does the form consist of. So under the South Dakota pre-observation form, I'm going to click over here on the right hand side, the little form button, and that's going to open up the form. And just for the sake of practice, I'm just going to type in some letters here. Because you will go through and fill all of this out prior to your observation. You can leave any comments you would like. You can timestamp things. And you can sign a digital signature here by typing in your name. Again, all of the boxes I should highlight here for you acts as Word does. So bold, italicize, underline. You can change fonts, you can highlight, center. You can add hyperlinks. So if you have something in there that you want to link out, you just will highlight and click the hyperlink button and then paste in where you want that to go once clicked on. But everything is here. You can hit spell check right here in your box. Now, the thing I will caution you on is that every time you do one of those little boxes, I would do a Control-Shift-S to save. A Control-Shift-S to save. Because as you get working, sometimes the system will not save, or it will crash, and it would be too bad that you would get down here to number 4 and all of it be erased. So highly recommend every so often hit Control Shift Save. This will save the document at that stage for you. At the bottom, there's a few buttons we need to talk about. One of them being Reset. If you click this button, it will reset the entire form. So if I would click this, everything in my form would be gone. I can save and notify. This is important because last year with Teachscape, if you accidentally submitted something that you weren't supposed to, or it wasn't time, you weren't done with it yet, you were able to sometimes get it back by the administrator giving it back to you. In Frontline, that does not work. Frontline does not let us do that, and so we have to be very cautious of how we submit. So save and notify. This tab will work very similar to submitting, except it will just notify the administrator that there is something to look at. It can then come back and be edited and corrected by you as the educator. Clicking save here will do it, but going up and down from the page to hit save is a little more work than just hitting Control Shift S to save while you're working. And once you click submit, then that freezes all the cells and submits it to the administrator for review. So once you click this button, there really is no going back to edit it or to make changes to it. So please be cautious of when you submit or when you save things. If you want your administrator just to look it over and give you some feedback, save and notify is there. But once you submit it, it is submitted for review. So just for the sake of showing you what this looks like, I will click submit. Submit this form, yes. It's loading. And now as you see, it changed here to awaiting finalization. So now if I went in there, I would not be able to get anything else added. It would be stuck there. So it is waiting finalization. Now if I go back to my learning plan and I click the little purple tab, remember in the first video we talked about the different areas, the scheduled, the action, now the in progress. There it is. There's the in progress. It's waiting for the administrator to look it over and click complete. Once it's complete, it will move down here to the completed area. So again, this is the main landing page. If you want to get to the view that we were at, my evaluations, evaluation, and then we've started the formal observation process. So we'll click on that, and there it is. It's waiting finalization. So then the next step would be the formal observation to happen. So that is how you submit forms. Again, I'm going to teacher review observation form just to go down to the way bottom and talk about those tabs again. Once we get through this, again, notify, save and notify will save it for you and notify your administrator that there is something there. But you can always go back and add more or edit it at that point. If you click reset, it resets all the fields on this form. Pressing save will save the form, but again, easy way to do that is Control Shift S. And then once you submit it, it is locked. There is no really going back. So please use submit when you're completely finished, ready for your administrator to review it and look at it. Those are the tabs for editing a form. Now let's talk a little bit about uploading artifacts to the new Frontline software. Right here, artifacts for non-observable components. If you click the little plus sign, domains 1 and 4 artifacts can be submitted here, and you can click the little form over here on the right-hand side. Now this will let you add as many artifacts as you want for 1 and 4. So as you go throughout the year, it's going to be important that you press save all the time or hit Control Shift S, but do not hit submit after you've uploaded one artifact, because then it locks it and you can't add any more to it. So if you're adding artifacts throughout the year to this area, please make sure you only click save. If you'd like to check in with your administrator, you could hit save and notify, but highly suggest just hit save. until you're ready to submit 1 and 4 for review. So how you use this platform is you click Add Artifact. You can name it. You can click the type of artifact, but right now nothing is showing up there for us. For you, it might be. I'm under a generic account right now. But the ones to pay attention to is the alignment. You need to click what component it is. So this is 4C. And then you need to choose communicating with families. So those are the two areas. Again, you got to select the component and then where does it fall. You can upload a file or you can upload a URL. So if you're using a Google Doc, you could copy and paste the Google Doc link in here and it's ready to go because the Google Doc will update as you go. The other thing you'll need to do is select your administrator. So here you'll only have a couple options. Select the administrator that is for review of your artifacts. So I've got a file, so I'm going to upload a file from my desktop. And I have just a picture of the calendar from Seesaw that shows every day that we communicated with parents. And I can click Save. And again, I'm going to click Save. And now I can add another artifact if I would like. And I'm going to call this test 1, 2, 3. And I'm just going to say it's for C again. Click the box. And this time I'm going to just say www.google.com. And there it is. So again, both of my artifacts are in there. They're ready to be reviewed, but I'm not hitting submit because I'm not done with this yet. So I'm just going to make sure to hit save. And then now I'm lost. Where do I go from here? I can go back to my learning plan up here in the right hand corner with the purple tab. Just click that. It's going to bring you back to the front and show you that your pre-observation form is still in progress. But I'm going to click on my evaluations and now I'm back to my main spot. Now here it changed to say in progress. So I can continue to add artifacts to here as the year goes on. So a quick review, add the artifact, fill out the name. You can put a description if you'd like based on what your administrator is requesting. Choose the rubric, so the component, the criteria. So I'm just going to quickly pick 4C again, choose the criteria. And you need to do this so it ties it to that. And then you can upload a file or put in a URL link. That is how you can upload artifacts. Add next here the teacher self-review observation form. And the reason for that is because this one is filled out a little different. The tools are the same, except when you look here, you get to select the box in which you think you fell. So creating an environment of respect and rapport, you're proficient, and then you start to fill out, you can enter notes. If you click there, you can enter notes. Again, you can timestamp things, pick your font, bold, italicize, underline, your colors, you can highlight, link to different areas. But again, to pick your area, you just have to click the box. And then rubric scores 3 out of 4. And then you can go through and pick why you believe you are proficient. So again, then you'd move down to establishing a culture for learning. You'd pick your area. You can enter notes and evidence if you'd like. Pick here, and then continue on your way throughout the whole form. Again, that's how this form operates, is just clicking and adding your evidence and notes into those areas. So that's just how this tool works. Again, you have to do the same thing way at the bottom. Save and notify, leaves it open, but basically is notifying the administrator that something has taken place in it if you want them to look it over to make sure you've done it correctly or you've started the process correctly. Submit locks it. So once you submit it, it is done. It's ready for review. So That's how this type of form looks. So if you run into that during the process, you know that the way to highlight this is just by clicking in the box, and it highlights the whole box for you, and you can continue scoring the rubric from there. So that is how you use the scoring rubric on your teacher self-review observation form. This up with Frontline, just a few things to think about when you're in the platform. One is, what view do you like? Do I want this view where it shows all the action required and I have to scroll through and find them? Or do you like the view where it breaks it down with the plus sign? That's the first thing you have to decide, is which view do you like to see better. The other thing is, I need to caution you here. This one says artifact files. You can see that from our past, we've uploaded seesaw communication and we've uploaded test 1, 2, 3. Now, if we would click here and add an artifact, it will show up here, but it will not show up in domain 1 and 4 over here. It will not show up in this form. You have to add it to this form for it to show up. So this is just confirming that the artifact is sitting there, but evaluation part of it, you have to go into the domain 1 and 4 and put it inside this form. That is a key. Don't just add your artifacts here and think that they're assigned to domain 1 and 4, because at that point they're not. They're just sitting in here as a holding area, but they're not doing anything. Once you upload them into 1 and 4, they'll show up here. So this is a good way to check. And that is the tools of my learning plan. Good luck. Have a great year.